So, you guys,
We're back.
We're back.
Oh shit, we're already back?
We're already back.
Put
Hey.
your damn phone.
I didn't
Sorry.
even know we were back.
We did the Wolverine.
The.
Well, this is our movie cast, our
Oh,
movie
yeah.
review, whatever we call it.
Yeah,
We go through the steps.
I mean, the title
plot,
should say it all, so.
exactly.
Blah, blah, blah.
Learn a book.
Villains.
So we've been watching X-Men films, and mostly decent X-Men films, and today we felt like breaking a tradition.
Come
So-
on, man.
Come on.
We watched the Wolverine, which is what, like our fifth, sixth?
We had the first three, then two Wolverines,
And then
and
first, class. This is our sixth.
Sixth movie.
Well,
Cool.
sixth X-Men movie. Yes.
Cool. So we have a
Boy,
formula.
boy, is it starting to feel like the sixth movie.
Yeah.
There's three left.
Whew. What do we got left? We got Logan and the
Days
two.
of Future Past and Apocalypse.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What's next? Days of Future Past and then
Days of
Apocalypse
Future
and then Logan.
Past
Yeah.
is next. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the order.
Sweet.
Days of Future Past is really fun.
Yeah.
Well, we're not here to talk
That's
about it.
another
We're
Wolverine
here,
movie.
we're here to talk about
The.
the
We're
Wolverine.
here to talk about the
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
We
Naming
got-
conventions out the window. We're going full Fast and Furious. The Fast and the Furious. Too Fast, Too Furious.
That's the next
Furious
Wolverine
6.
title.
Just-
Whatever.
Levi, hit us up with that formula that
So
we
our,
follow.
our go-to formula, which I have to open up because it's still on my grocery list, is
Starting
plot.
with that plot.
Black.
villain, action, comedy, universe building, references / Easter eggs.
Man, dude,
The
this
plot.
movie about to
Who
get
wants
fucking
plot?
roasted. This movie. Okay, so the plot of this movie is
Do you know?
Wolverine is, he's still in Canada, hanging out, doing his thing. But
Yeah.
there's a bit of backtracking and whatnot. First, it shows him in World War II, I would say.
Yeah, it was.
In Japan, locked in a dungeon somehow. There's no
It was
backstory
a
on that.
POW.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just presume the word.
But yeah, he helps this guy out when they drop the bombs in Japan. And that kind of sets the stage for the whole plot of the movie. But it goes to him in Canada, and then he gets like picked out by this smaller Japanese girl, which her name was,
You can't skip the bear part.
well, the fucking bear. There was a bear that got shot in the woods.
With.
Well, you'll get to the poison arrow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what was the
you
small?
sure you got this?
What was the Japanese girl's name? That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, Megan stopped me with a freaking bear. The bear's irrelevant.
No, it's not. It's a parallel.
It
It
is.
does. We go full. This movie goes full RoboCop, where the scenes play out the same forward as they do backwards.
Hold on. Okay, so we're just gonna stop conventions right here. Tell me how it's a parallel.
Because then Wolverine gets shot with a
'Cause
poison arrow.
Okay.
and it's
Now
a
tell me how that
wounded bear.
parallels the bear.
He's the bear.
And we'll,
Because he's a wounded animal.
So who
and
kills him? Who puts him out of his misery?
he-
no one. He's Wolverine. He's Wolverine. He doesn't get to be put out of his misery. He just gets to live with it.
I mean,
So-
he could have.
So yes, there's this. Going back to the plot, there's the small Japanese girl picks him out and says, "Hey, shit's going down in Japan. I need your help." This dude, the guy he saved,
Yeah.
just wants you to say, bye.
Yoshida.
I'm dying. Yeah. And Wolverine's like, "All right, man, I'll come."
Yukio is the precognitive
Yukio?
mutant that
Okay.
hangs out with Wolverine.
Yeah, she's got like premonition abilities.
She's seeing people die.
But so Wolverine's like, "Sure, I'll go for one day. I'll go. I'll see the old ass dude dying. I'll say what's up, and I'll leave." So he does exactly that. But that spins all this stuff. The guy was amazed by Wolverine when he saved him in Japan during a bomb. So he wants Wolverine's powers,
He offers to take them from him
Yeah.
to end his
Yeah.
suffering.
and that shit just starts to get thrown around. His son is supposed to be the heir, and his son's daughter, so his granddaughter, talking about the Japanese dude who survived, she is also in this, and it becomes a potential love interest for Wolverine.
But she's also the one that the grandpa is giving the company to.
Yeah.
That's why the
Yes.
son or her father is wanting to kill her because he wants full control of the company.
Yeah, now we got that out. So yeah, the dude who survived, his son wants to kill his granddaughter. I guess. I mean, it's so muddled, but
It's not that muddled.
I mean, using those pronouns, it gets muddled by saying
It's just-
his and
yeah.
his and his.
Yeah,
Well, you just say
Yoshida is who he is.
Yoshida's son, Shinjin, wants to kill his own daughter. Shinjin wants to kill his own daughter, Mariko.
That's the
Shingen
problem.
wants to kill his
That's the
daughter.
problem. Japanese names are hard for us to remember
Very.
as white people.
Yeah, well, we're not exposed to that culture
We're
that much
uncultured
unless
swine.
you're a
Yeah, there you go.
big weeboo. So,
Ew.
and after that, you're kind of introduced to this white lady who's just kind of hanging
She's
out
like a
in Japan.
doctor.
Yeah.
Turns out to be a
Dr. Green.
Dr. Green. Yeah, she turns out to
Mutant.
be a mutant.
viper.
She can spit poison, and
Killed
she
Mr.
can.
White in the billiards
Yeah.
room.
And the
Yeah.
candlestick.
Dr. Green, with spit poison. She killed Mr. White with spit poison. She comes into play. So at this point, you've got, like, I guess you've got three villains overarching, which one you really don't consider a villain until the end of the movie. But you've got Shinjin, who wants to kill his daughter, which Wolverine loves, so now you got that problem. You've got the Viper, who...
Just working for Yoshida.
Yeah, I was...
She's literally just doing her job.
She has no, she has no agenda of her own. She's just
Yeah.
kind of following orders, which is,
So that means she's getting paid.
I guess. You've got irrelevant Hawkeye dude. We can add him in there.
Yeah.
He just kind of shows up, and then
Well, he's a friend of Mariko.
he's
Yeah.
good, and then he's bad, and then he's
Good again.
good.
Well, he was always the same side until the end.
I guess so. Yeah. And then the Silver Samurai shows up at
Silver
the end of the
Samurai.
movie. Like,
You didn't even touch on the fact that Wolverine
I don't-
lost his powers.
I can't touch on anything else because I'm just everything is just I can't. Lee, continue off from when we've got
Just
You're
fill
so
in.
confused.
Just fill
Fill in
in
the
stuff.
blanks.
All
Mad
right,
libs
so-
this.
Crazy Poison Lady puts a thing on Wolverine's heart,
yep.
and it takes away his healing factor pretty much. So you see, like, a wounded Wolverine, like, gets shot, and he's like, "Oh, what the fuck's going on?" And still bleeding, and it's like, Wolverine's lost his healing factor. What's going on here? And then he goes to hide out with Shingen's daughter, Mariko, and they're doing their own thing. Then Shingen eventually finds them and brings them back, but then ninjas come in, and you're like, whoa.
See, this is why I didn't want to explain it.
There's way too many things going on.
The ninjas-
They tried to do like all the double cross, triple cross sort of
They
thing.
did definitely
They
do
shouldn't
that.
have. They should have made a straightforward story. It would have done for a lot better of a movie.
Then the ninjas take them to a super secret complex. But Wolverine's still the thing, and he goes through like the old man's machine, and he sees the thing on his heart. So he slices his stomach open and just reaches in and pulls the thing off,
And dies.
and dies for a second. Remember her line though. He's gonna die. There's blood everywhere, and his
Folds
heart in his hand.
Yeah,
That's relevant later.
it is.
But then they go to the complex, and Wolverine got his healing factor back, and he's fighting off all the dudes, and he gets knocked out by the poison ladies, like arrows, and he gets dragged in, and they have him in some kind of contraption where it's trying to. You have no idea what it's trying
They're
to do.
trying to. Yeah, it's a nonsense machine for cutting off Wolverine's claws.
Yeah, and that's when Silver Samurai comes into play. Then
He
they do
wants
a
his
whole
bone
big
marrow.
fight, and Silver Samurai cuts both of his hands like adamantium claws off.
Yep.
And then starts drilling into him with some crazy thing. And it starts taking his healing factor, and you just like see the mask off, and it's the old man.
That was supposed to have died, actually.
Yeah,
I forgot
like
to mention that.
like 2 hours. Like this movie's 2.5 hours long. He died in like the first 45 minutes of this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. So that you forget
There's
about
supposed
him,
to
so
be a
that they can
twist, yeah.
Yeah.
bring him back up. You know, typical.
It wasn't much of a surprise though.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately not.
We're
The
like, Grandpa's in the suit.
yeah.
So, yeah.
That really can lead into talking about like the villains just briefly. Like
Silver Samurai,
Silver,
Viper.
Silver Samurai,
Samurai.
which when I heard Silver Samurai was gonna be in this movie, I was like, oh shit, here we go. We're gonna get a good movie.
He lasts like 5
Not-
minutes.
Yeah, he's the final fight, and that's it.
And that's the problem
He's the
with
boss.
that
Boss
character
fight.
is that, you know, you got probably the best villain in
It's a
there.
super hype
It's
villain.
just at the end, and
He
pretty
does
much
two
does
things.
nothing.
Yeah.
And he gets wrecked.
And you've got the villain who does the most throughout the movie, probably, which is the Viper.
Yeah.
That just, it almost has no, like I said, has no agenda. She did
Yeah.
nothing for herself. It's just,
She's getting paid.
yeah, but,
Gotta get the cash, gotta get the
That's
dough, I
that's what
suppose.
make the money
but-
go around. That money.
I mean, I just
She
don't.
could have just got money by killing people.
Yeah, but
Just
they're the
spitting
richest
in
company
people.
in Japan, so I'm sure
Spit on
she got hella money.
She could
Yeah.
just
Remember, they
spit on
said he spent billions of dollars on
Well, that's true. Yeah.
getting healed and trying to live.
And then the other villain was Shinjin, who was your basic
He is supposed to be Silver Samurai in the comic.
He takes up the mantle. It's a whole mess.
Is that another movie?
That's
No.
another timeline.
Another time.
Sorry, that's another timeline.
Because you see him put on the little Silver Samurai armor.
He
and
puts
that's
on the
kinda-
old armor, like
Yeah.
that, like he wore in the comics. That wasn't
Yeah.
totally made out of adamantium for no reason.
Yeah, so there's most of your plot and your villain. I mean, how does the movie end? Spoiler.
Wolverine becomes the bear.
Mariko kills her own grandpa. It's like,
By throwing Wolverine's chopped off claws.
And then she goes, "You are a monster."
She becomes, what, Irish or something?
Somewhere between Irish and Hispanic.
So yeah,
then
she
she takes
killed.
over the company, and Wolverine's like, they're like, "Can you stay?" And he's like, "No, I've been out of this for too long. I gotta go back." Go back to the mutants, essentially, like X-Men.
Yep.
That's what he's alluding to.
Yeah.
And then he gets the Wolverine costume.
Yeah, but it
Yeah,
was
but
like,
in
Not
like
in
a,
this
but not
version.
in this version that we watched, but we did show that to us.
And the final scene was him trying to go through TSA, and he's like, "Shit, man, they got all the
He's like
all
all up for the pat down.
yeah, and they got the metal detectors, and then all the metal starts shaking, and everyone freezes, and you're like, oh my god, I've never seen this happening in my life. What could these possibly things happen?
maybe the
Boom!
two strongest
Ian
mutants ever.
McKellen.
Magneto
Gandalf.
himself.
And then Director Bullock.
Gandalf and Bullock.
And that's how that it's like. Magneto pretty much gives him his claws back. 'Cause
Yeah, well,
Magneto
it's-
can control any metal. It's just
Yeah.
Oh, right. He
There you
grew his
go.
claws back.
Oh, and then like Patrick Stewart's like, I told you when I first met you, we weren't the only ones with powers, and that's like the whole excuse for getting him back in the movies because they murdered the shit out of him in the last one.
No, what was the best line in the movie that we pointed out?
Oh gosh, don't do this to me.
What was it?
I liked two hands. We had to put both hands on the sword for it to light up.
I like
That was good. What
the
was that
line
other
where
part?
he screams when he's flying on the bullet train. Like, ah!
That was, so
that was a
stupid.
classic Wolverine thing.
What was the line?
When he's talking to Yukio and something, and he's like blah blah blah, and he's like, "Don't be a dick." It's like,
I don't remember.
Yeah,
any
it was
special
really
line.
drawing.
There was nothing special.
It wasn't special. But
What's
it was really
next?
funny.
I mean, with the bullet train thing, we can get a little bit into action. That
Oh, yeah.
reminded me a lot of Spider-Man 2
Sure.
I didn't
It's
see
been a
that.
minute
On the
since I've
train.
seen that.
when
when he's fighting Doc Ock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the best scene in a Spider-Man movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, so this movie, the action,
action nonstop.
The action was
I
comedy.
highly disagree. There is a lot of downtime in this movie with those characters just talking and talking and talking.
This is an exposition
And,
movie, if
like,
ever there was one.
I will say when the action does happen, it's
happens
very fast
hard.
and it's happening. Like that train scene, it's just like
No,
this
we'll
is too
say
much.
we watched the extended version solely because in the theatrical release there is zero blood.
Oh.
There is no blood in
Dude,
the movie. In the movie
how do they
that came
handle
out in
the
theaters.
friggin' snow chipper then? The wood chipper snowmobile.
It's not in there.
I was gonna say like that.
It showed like the part where it sprays on the wall. It was not totally unnecessary. Yeah, it wasn't in there.
Oh, okay. I was
It's
thinking maybe
like
they
they come into the thing, but there's no there's no high gore.
there was a
horror
backlog
movie.
of wood. When
Yeah.
they got sucked in, it just shot out of the wood.
Chips,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. But yeah, no. I mean, there was good action, but like I said, I think there was a lot of talking scenes and a lot of boring nonsense.
That's totally
But
fair.
I mean, probably one of the most action-packed ones. Still, it's one of the longer ones.
Probably.
Oh,
I
this
mean,
is
the past
absolutely
ones-
one of the longest movies
Yeah,
in
unfortunately.
this franchise.
Um,
They
Well,
cut it down
it's
from here.
2013, so you're starting to get in the 2-hour stand.
2 hours standard. Yeah.
comedy.
The whole movie was comedy.
I think there was none. I
There
don't
was a
remember,
little
like,
Outside of like a couple like little gags, like this is a love hotel, and it's like because
They got the space.
But it's
too.
like-
none of similar to the last movie we watched. None of it was set up. The last movie had no setup comedy, but it had a little bit meshed in there, and I feel like this movie was intended to be the same, but there really wasn't anything
nothing
that fun.
nothing like super hit.
No. I mean, 'cause I was just listening to us, and none of us were really laughing.
Yeah.
They had
So
that
maybe
part.
jokes we were making, but
They had that part that was like the Mulan scene that was supposed to be funny, where he was getting washed.
Oh yeah.
okay,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's probably the funniest part of the
And
movie.
he's like, "Do you feel better?" It's like, "I feel violated."
Yeah, that's probably the
That's
funniest
probably
part
the
of movie.
funniest bit. I'm like 100% because like there was the jokes didn't happen.
No, it was a pretty serious
It was
movie.
it was a serious movie. It started with a nuke in World War II.
Yeah, for
Like-
real.
Proof that Wolverine can survive. No.
Yeah.
I think the fact that it was a serious movie is its downfall. The first
Absolutely.
Wolverine was very goofy and kind of had played up moments like that, and that's what made it like, yeah, this movie sucks, but you know, it's just
but
a
it's
goofy
entertaining.
Movie. If this movie would have had more of that, I would have been more.
And see
happy
that's
with
that's a big difference in because at this point it's 2013. We've had all the Iron Man movies come out, all but
Yeah.
the last one come out, and we're used to funny superheroes.
Yeah, that's all superheroes are now.
Like we've hit the point of okay, there's a Marvel movie is gonna be funny, and these X-Men movies aren't all that funny. They're
No.
not funny jokes, haha movies.
About half of them have decent amount of jokes, but the other half just very,
Just
very
don't.
focused movies like this past one
Yeah.
we watched.
As far as universe building goes, this
Almost
does
Yeah.
almost none until the very
Yeah,
end,
the after the credits.
until the
scene.
after credits scene.
Yeah, this felt like it could have been its own spin-off,
Yeah.
like of just a little adventure Wolverine.
Well, that's
had.
kind of what it was.
Yeah, because
It was
everything that
supposed to
they
be
started to
just
build in this
about-
movie, they just destroyed.
Yeah, it was a one time
Yeah.
like no one's ever gonna
Yeah.
see this again.
And kind of the
Is
whole
that
movie
the
kind of
company
pointless.
that
Yeah.
was off the end that's Logan in Logan?
Trask is the company that makes the Sentinels.
No. So,
Huh.
okay.
Interesting.
I knew it was something relevant, but I was like, so that's a little thing for.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
that's still after.
But that's still the
that's-
after credits scene,
Yeah.
and leads into directly the next movie.
Yeah. We can add that to our Easter eggs. I mean, we
Yeah.
had that.
Absolutely.
Anything else that we noticed? I mean, you had, like you said, the old samurai suit.
Yeah.
Just
The
an Easter egg.
that totally threw me.
He thought it was funny.
Yeah, well, you know, about as funny as that movie.
Oh, come on now.
He's right.
It was actually funnier than that movie, so sorry.
No, that's like the end
Oh,
of it. right there.
references.
No Stan Lee.
Nope.
Not the least.
Nah.
No
I didn't
Stan
see
Lee.
It
it.
was in Australia.
Yeah,
So we probably didn't want to fly over there.
I don't blame him. Now this is
Right.
during the time frame of, China makes up most of our movie sales, so like, got it. We'll put Asian people in the movie, and then it came out and they went, oh, China hates Japan. Forgot about that.
Yeah, there you go. I mean,
So like, I had the numbers up.
yeah, I really don't know who this movie's audience was.
Wolverine fan.
I hope
It's
they
called-
hated it just as much as I did.
So this got
didn't.
132 and a
They
half
loved it?
million.
What?
This got 132 and a half million domestically.
What did it?
The
What did
one
it spin?
the one previous was almost 180.
Okay. I mean, come on though. It's got the name. It's like a Halo game. It's like a.
And plus, like when you think about it in theory, it's like Wolverine, Japan, swords, ninja, samurai.
Yeah.
282 worldwide.
The formula seems like it should work.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe people in the Japanese area could relate more and have more fun with it.
I mean, it's possible they
No?
do tend to put they do tend to cut in more Asian characters and like there's a
That was
like
hot.
the like in the no I mean
Wolverine
like
was like
in
the
like
only one or two white people in it.
some of the Avengers movies they'll cut in a whole thing of just a bunch of Asian people hanging out with the Avengers
Like
that
going to
are that
Chinatown.
don't come out in our version
That's,
kind of
I mean,
thing.
that's funny. It's kind of goofy.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
any
it
other
topped
big-
its box office, but of course it did. It's a superhero
That's
movie
what
at
I'm
this
saying.
point.
Yeah.
It has the name. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
And it was 2013. They hadn't really taken off. It's always been a while before you got to see a new one.
It got the highest opening of the franchise. of the X-Men franchise,
Yeah.
passing The Last Stand, which
Again,
people didn't like when it came out.
Yeah.
And
Again,
we-
I think it's the name. If you name the
Yeah.
movie The Wolverine and you have good trailers, boom, you're done.
Yeah.
You win. So.
Do you want to
Um,
move on to rating?
Yeah, please.
Out of 12.
Out of 12.
12.
We've been rating things pretty highly, and
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, we need to write down our ratings. In all honesty,
Yeah, I've got them written on the videos, but we don't have the video pulled up right now.
we should before for the next video. Hopefully, we'll have
Yeah, we'll
all of
pull
our
that
ratings
up.
in front of us, so we can at least tell you what we like our past ratings. But Levi, the Wolverine.
6.5.
Lee,
8.5.
Megan,
I'd give it a 7.
5. 5 out of 12.
This
Five
movie
out of
was
12.
bad, but I enjoyed
liked
how
it.
bad it was. You know what I mean? Kind
it's-
of like Paranormal
that's-
Activity.
That's the problem I had, is I wish it was worse.
Yeah.
Me too.
If it was worse, way better movie.
It tries too hard to be good, and that's what makes it much worse for me.
And you can see where, like, for those who've seen Logan, where it got its ideas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Like, it definitely pulls from this movie, but it just doesn't stick the landing.
Yeah, this movie's
It,
astounding.
it went to do all sorts of crazy flips and then broke its ankle when it landed.
Yeah.
That's a decent way to put.
Yeah,
I should
Looking at it.
essentially give it a 7 out of 10 with that.
I'm giving it less than a 5 out
Yeah.
of 10. So, but we don't care about 10 scales. We care
don't.
about 12 scales.
12.
So, someone's better at math than me. Do us a little average. You
I ain't
got
doing
Uh,
that
what
with
do you
that.
Don't
got?
worry, Siri's better.
8.5 plus
Siri, you're just
7.
gonna plug it in the calculator.
7?
Yeah.
You said 7.
I said 7.
Plus,
I said 6.5.
Technical difficulties.
plus 5.
5 out of 12.
12?
Yeah, that's not right.
No, you're supposed to divide it by 4. for
Yeah.
average.
Hold on, you guys. We just
I was like,
we're just trying to figure some math out.
6.75.
6.75.
Definitely the weakest out of all the ones we've
I would
watched.
say.
Yeah.
But
I don't think
that-
it's the weakest.
that-
which one
personally.
would you say? We'll have to get our scores again.
Yeah, we'll have to.
I would say
do that.
probably this. Was it the second one?
The third one.
Third one, maybe.
That third one was pretty bad.
Or maybe- I
with
think
how
the
they
second-
ended.
Was it the 4th one we all liked a lot?
That was Wolverine.
We liked the third one a
Yeah.
decent
that
amount
was the
too.
That
first
would be it.
Wolverine. It was a good one.
The third one was our highest before
Yeah,
Wolverine.
before
the
X-Men
one before
Origins, 3 was number 1.
Not for me.
Oh no, I mean just
Average.
average.
Overall.
Well, we're talking about me here.
So I believe, even still, like where it's at, I think that does put it still in last.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's in last.
Absolutely. I think
the
our lowest one's
was
7.
Yeah.
We'll give you our ratings in the next video.
It'll
We'll
it'll
have it
be
all
up
down.
for you to see, but we don't know
Yeah.
Well,
it.
sorry.
Well,
All right.
I think we're gonna move into the 3 strongest movies of the
Probably.
Probably,
Apocalypse has
It's
some
like-
weak
yeah,
points,
definitely.
but Days of Future Past is a
Great.
very good movie.
What do I want? I just want more mutants. This movie had a distinct lack of mutants.
Yes, it had 2 mutants.
Yeah. Give
It
me
had
some
Wolverine and the girl who could see people's death.
Viper.
mutants. Oh yeah.
Oh,
3.
Viper. Excuse me. Sorry, forgot about her. So important. See you guys on the next one.
Well, next one we're watching Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past.
See you on the next one. Bye. I ain't the sharpest tool in my shed. I was looking very fun with my finger in my
Oh my
thumb.
god.
The right one's unmuted.
Scad bought my old apartment and is turning it into a dorm.
Yeah,
Yeah. You know where the kids got pistol whipped?
yeah.
I got pistol.
Scad decided it'd be a good idea to buy it.
That way the college can pistol whip them with intuition.